Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Don Fisher. After 2 days of measurable precipitation and nearly 11 weeks in much of western Montana, a much-needed weather pattern change is headed our way. Meteorologist Russ Thomas explores the impact this will have on our ongoing wildfires.
With more than 1.3 million acres scorched this summer, 2017 is now the second worst fire season on record in the northern Rockies region, surpassed only by the summer of 2012. Now, two much-needed wet, cool weather systems are targeting Montana over the next week. It won't completely clear the smoke, but it's a start.
We won't be ending our fire season with these events. We'll be slowing it down, but there's just so much fire in the landscape across the region, and many of the fires are in heavy timber, and the fuels are so dry because of our summer drought.
History shows that mid to late September is when we often begin to see a seasonal change in the weather pattern. The extended forecast shows a trend to cooler, wetter conditions over the next 2 weeks. This is good news, as each system may not cover all areas, but the more opportunities we have, the better.
Unfortunately, the first system looks like it's going to miss out for northwest Montana and North Idaho, where we do have some very active fires. But the models are showing an even stronger, wetter system coming in directly from the west, and that will really help North Idaho and western Montana, northwest Montana particularly.
The expected cooler temperatures are helpful, and the rainfall certainly very beneficial, but there is one extra factor that would trump it all.
The second system next week, we could actually see widespread areas of snowpack developing into next week over the mountains throughout western Montana.
More good news, the dry periods in between our rain events won't be as problematic as what we've had in recent weeks.
The days will be so much cooler, the nights longer, and so our burning periods each day will be a lot shorter and less intense.
A sure sign that the worst of the fire season is officially behind us. In Missoula, Russ Thomas, MTN News.
And Richmond says that snow levels should be as low as 5,500 feet in most areas and 4,500 feet in the West Glacier region, with the system expected to move through early next week. And for more on what kind of weather you can expect as we get through the work week, we toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost. Aaron?
Yeah, and that sounds great about the system for next week, but we're going to take one thing at a time. We're going to start with the system coming in this Thursday and Friday, and that one even has snow levels down to around 6,000 feet. So not season-ending fire season kind of stuff, but it's definitely going to help out in a big way. Today, you could hardly tell that's right around the corner. Things very quiet, still under the influence of high pressure. We do have red flag warnings in place for northwest Montana through midnight tonight, but again, we are talking about that next system set to move in late this week, and look at that, we already have our first winter storm watches posted of the season. The full forecast on the way.
And more good news for Seeley Lake residents living near the Rice Ridge fire. The Missoula County Sheriff's Office reports that after conferring with the incident management team, it has been decided to downgrade Zone 5 in Seeley Lake from evacuation order to evacuation warning. This is the last zone in the area north of the airport and is adjacent to Seeley Lake, but technically in Powell County and affects approximately 6 homes. All of Seeley Lake is still under evacuation warning, while evacuation orders and warnings remain in place in Powell County. At last check, the Rice Ridge fire had burned about 140,000 acres since being sparked by lightning north of Seeley Lake on July 24th. And as fires continue to ravage Montana, a number of Made in Montana businesses are coming together to help raise much needed money to help firefighters and their efforts. Among them, Live Life Clothing in Helena. They've created 2 fire relief themed shirts and are donating half of their sales to the Stockman's Bank Fund, which is going to match up to $10,000 in donations. Owner Sadie Floating says they started selling the shirts in early August, and the response has been great so far from customers in the state and across the U.S.
It's been great. We're really new. We've only been in business a little bit over a year, so we're not as big as some of the other companies, and so it's great to see the reaction. Not only Montana, but we have customers from all around the United States who have been purchasing shirts. We've had wholesale stores contact us wanting the fire relief shirts to be a part of it, so the reaction has been amazing.
It's been amazing to see our members stepping up, donating time, money, resources, creating products, really helping out in any way they can. It goes to show the authenticity not only of the products and the businesses, but of the character of our members as well. So we're really proud to see that.
And KAJ has partnered with the Montana Community Foundation to create the Montana Wildlife Relief Fund. This is your chance to help your fellow Montanans who are victims of these disastrous fires. To donate, just go to KAJ18.com and you can make your contribution online or get information on how to mail it. Our MTN stations will match the first $50,000 in donations, so please take advantage of this opportunity to make a difference for our neighbors across the state. And it looks like another Democrat will be joining the race for Montana's congressional seat next year. Grant Keir of Missoula says he has scheduled an exciting announcement this evening related to Montana's only congressional seat. Keir is a former executive director of Five Valleys Land Trust in Missoula, a group that works to preserve open space in western Montana. He stepped down from the post last month, and if Keir is running for the Montana House seat, he'll be the second Democrat to get in the race. He would join Billings lawyer John Heenan. The seat is held by Republican Gianforte now, who just won the office in May 25th in the special election. Gianforte has already said he is going to rerun next year. Montana's 2018 U.S. Senate race already has half a dozen candidates or potential candidates. One of them says he's still exploring whether or not to run. But as MTN's Mike Dennison reports, State District Judge Russell Fagg of Billings sounds very much like he's in.
Russell Fagg says he hasn't decided whether he'll become one of several Republicans hoping to challenge Democratic incumbent Senator Jon Tester next year. But he's been traveling the state, speaking to groups, and touting endorsements from prominent Republicans.
And at this point, I've had tremendous encouragement. I picked up the support of Governor Roscoe, Governor Martz, Governor Stevens, Congressman Rehberg, and Congressman Hill, should I decide to run, which really makes the decision a lot easier, but I'm not 100% there yet.
Fagg is stepping down from his judge post on October 13th. After that, he says he'll announce whether he's a candidate. If he does, he'd be the fifth Republican to get into the race, joining State Auditor Matt Rosendale, State Senator Al Olszewski of Kalispell, and businessman Troy Downing of Big Sky, and Ron Murray of Belgrade. Fagg formed an exploratory committee this summer. State Democrats have criticized Fagg for running a shadow campaign while he's a sitting judge and suggest that's unethical. But Fagg notes that the State Judicial Standards Commission reviewed his actions and found nothing wrong.
That's perfectly ethical, legal, moral, it's right. It's okay to raise some money to travel to the state and talk to people, do some polling and some things like that. That's basically what I'm doing.
He's also telling people why he'd be the best Republican to take on Tester.
I'm a fourth-generation Montanan. I've been a judge for 22 years. I've been in the Montana legislature. I'm center-right. Being from Yellowstone County is a huge help because there's a big portion of the votes here. So for all of those reasons, I think I would have the best shot of all the candidates should I decide to run against Senator Tester.
But if Judge Fagg does decide to get into this contest, he'll still face a very competitive primary for the Republican nomination. Tomorrow, we'll take a look at how that race is already well underway. In Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
And that Republican primary election is still almost 9 months away. After the break, we will be getting some much-needed fall weather, and Aaron Yost will have your full forecast and find out about one of the state's most booming industries that's making a name for itself in Billings.